Hello and welcome. We are now at the starting point for doing a WordPress installation, and you'll notice that we are at the site HostGator right now, and this is one of the elements that you are going to need in order to start building a WordPress site. You're going to need hosting. In some cases you can already get WordPress hosting, but at minimum you want to make sure that your hosting company has cPanel. Now the other thing you're going to need is a domain name. And a number of marketers find Namecheap to be the most cost effective. So once you have a domain name and once you have hosting, you want to make sure that the two are connected together at the host. And when you've done that, then you'll want to get into your cPanel for your domain name. And we will start there for the WordPress process. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Now, in order to do the WordPress install, you are going to need some information, and you'll probably need that information from your hosting company. You are going to go to yourdomain.com, and when I say your domain, that's obviously the domain where you're going to be putting your WordPress site, .com or .net or whatever your domain is, and you're going to type in /cPanel. Now, you'll then be prompted for a hosting password and a hosting username. Now you may have to get that information again from your host, and then once you have it, you want to enter that information into the login screen, and then you'll be brought to the cPanel screen, and I'll show you that right now. You are now looking at cPanel, and typically what you'll want to do is you'll want to scroll down through cPanel, and you'll want to look in software and services for an icon that says Fantastico Deluxe. Now, you might see other icons. You may not see Fantastico. You may see something different. You'll want to make sure that when you click inside of Fantastico or whatever your software service is, that you're going to see WordPress. So we're going to go ahead and click Fantastico Deluxe now. And when we get there, you're going to notice that you have lots of installations that you could do. But the one we're going to be most concerned with is going to be WordPress, and you'll see that right there on the left side menu. Now that you're ready to start installing your website, you're going to go and click WordPress. WordPress is going to give you the option to start a new installation, and that is what you are going to do. You're going to click this link that says New Installation. When you do that, then WordPress is going to give you some options. It's going to allow you to install WordPress in a subdirectory, and you can certainly do that, and that is one of the benefits of being able to use Fantastico and even using WordPress. We could theoretically install WordPress across our domain in many subdirectories, but in this particular case, we're just going to focus on one. When you come to this screen, you are going to be given a choice by WordPress to either install WordPress in the domain, where it will be the root domain, or you can install it in a subdirectory. If you want to install it in a subdirectory, all you'll need to do is you'll need to put the subdirectory here where it says install in directory. If you just want it to be installed on the domain name and you want WordPress to take up the entire domain, then all you need to do is just leave this blank and then continue the process. Now, what you want to do right now is that you are then going to want to put a username for the administrator, and this is what's going to allow you to log into WordPress, as well as a password. And then you're going to give your admin a nickname. So this is what your admin will appear as when you're posting on your WordPress site. You're going to write in an email address, and you want this email address to be one where you get mail or that you don't have a lot of problems with spam, because you do want to get things with WordPress if something is happening with the site and there is a way for you to be notified. You want to make sure that that email address is one that works. Writing in the site name, obviously we're going to write in the site name, but this is something that we can change later, as well as a description here. Now, for purposes of this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a directory, and I'm going to call it test WP directory. Okay, you can install it in a directory if you want, and again, you can just install it across the entire domain. So let's go ahead and type some information here. So I have a test directory. I'm also going to write in an administrator name, and I'm going to write in a password and an administrator nickname. Okay, I've now written in some information there, and what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go ahead and put a site name in here. I'm just going to call it test directory. And then I'm going to give it a description, test for WordPress course. Once we've done that, then we can actually click the button to install WordPress, and that is what we're going to do right now. You are now going to be given an intermediate step that you can click Finish Installation, and that's all you're going to have to do. And then once you've done that, then WordPress is going to be installed. And what you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to go to your directory so that you can log in. We can then write in our username and our password, and then we can just click Login. Then once we log in, we are now inside of our WordPress dashboard, and we are now ready to start working on our site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now, when you first get to your WordPress site, it's going to look something like this depending on what version that you have. And there are going to be some things that you want to do right from the start. You'll notice that our WordPress is in a directory, testwp direct, and the first thing we're going to do is log in. Now, you can log in either from the left side menu, but you don't want to always keep this left side menu there. And so what you're going to want to do is learn how to log in as if you did not have a menu here. So what you do is to go to the end of your directory, you type in WP, and then you type in a dash, and then you type in ADIMN, and then hit enter. That's actually going to bring you to a login screen. And when you get to that login screen, you're going to want to type in your login username, and then you're going to want to write in a password. Now, I'm going to do that right now. If you remember, that is the username that we created. That's the password that we created. You can click Remember Me, and then you're going to click Login. That's what we're going to do right now. Once we do that, of course, we will be inside of the WordPress dashboard. Now, routinely, when you get to the inside for the first time, you're going to see a couple of things that you are going to be familiar with in some cases, and in other cases, it may be new to you. One of the first things you'll see is whether or not your version of WordPress needs to be updated. Now, you are going to want to do these updates because this is what keeps your WordPress from being hacked. Typically, if there is a security vulnerability, there is an update, and you'll typically want to take care of this unless there is some compelling reason why you do not want to do it. So if you see an update, go ahead and click the Update Now. You're going to see a screen that looks like this, and then you're just going to want to update your WordPress. WordPress will typically go through a process, and it will tell you, welcome to the new WordPress, and it'll tell you that WordPress has been updated successfully. And you'll see a new version of WordPress in most cases. Now, one of the other things you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stop some of the spam that's going to come into your site. One of the things that a potential hacker might look for are things that tend to be in the websites of people who just start out in WordPress and they don't take care of them at the beginning. So we're going to take care of those things right now. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go to the post area, and you're going to click All Posts. And you're going to see a post there that's called Hello World. You'll then want to go and click Trash for that post. Then you'll want to go to your trash area at that link. You'll want to click the box, and then you'll want to hover over Hello World and then delete it permanently. Then you'll want to go to the Pages area and do the same thing. You're going to see a sample page. You're going to click that button. You're going to click Trash. Then you're going to go into your trash. And then you're going to delete that page permanently. Now you'll then go to the Comments area. And if there are no comments, then you are going to be in good shape. If there are, you're going to want to delete those comments. But typically, if we have deleted the post and the pages, we won't have comments. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look in this left side menu. And one of the things that we'll talk about in a later video is that WordPress will give you notifications. And when a potential plugin needs to be updated, WordPress will give you this notification. You're going to go to that install plugin area. And then you're going to give that plugin an update. So you'll want to go to the Update Now area. And then that will update the plugin. Now, whenever you get to this area, again, one of the things that you're going to see right away is a plugin that's going to be in every installation. Hello Dolly is typically a plugin you're not going to need, and so you're going to want to go ahead and delete that plugin. You'll click Delete Files, and then your plugin will be ready. Now, there's one more thing that we're going to want to do in order to get our WordPress to ground zero, and that is to go to the Install Plugins area. And then we're going to want to activate our Akismet. So we're going to go to this plugin, and we're going to click Activate. And if you already have an Akismet account, then you're going to want to activate that Akismet account. If you don't have one, you're going to want to set one up. So we're going to click Activate your Akismet account. Now, if you have ever installed WordPress before, you already have an API key. If you have not installed WordPress before, you're going to want to go get an API key by going through this process. Now, we're going to go ahead and put in our API key, that we already have one, and then we're going to click Use this key. Now, once your key has been entered, Akismet will tell you it's now activated and you are now ready to start working with your WordPress site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to take a look at all of the elements of the menu when you log into the dashboard. In particular, you're going to notice that at the top right-hand corner, you're going to notice that you have your profile icon. And when you hover over that icon, you're going to see that you have your username and you have a place where you can edit your profile. So we're going to start the process right there by going to the Edit My Profile area. Now, one of the things that you're going to see right away is that you're going to have the ability to disable the visual editor, and that means the WYSIWYG or the What You See Is What You Get editor. You typically are going to want to keep that there unless you know HTML very well. You can actually change the look of the color scheme of the inside of your WordPress site, and you can do that by clicking any one of these buttons. And this is really just more of a preference, and you'll see the colors are changing on the side there. You can also enable keyboard shortcuts, and once again, this is something that's optional. You don't have to do it, and all it does is it helps you to be more efficient when you're working with WordPress. Now, the toolbar is what you'll see here at the top, so you can actually have it so that your toolbar doesn't show up when you enter the site, and you can actually click that or leave it checked. Now, in the name area, you'll notice that your username can't be changed, but you can add a first name and a last name for your login and for your site. Your nickname is required, and then you can decide on how your nickname is going to be displayed publicly. And if you want to change how it's going to be displayed publicly, what you can do is you can click this drop-down menu, and you're going to see some names there. You can also write in some. And you can actually, when you save it, you're going to have that as an option available to you here. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this and we're going to save, update our profile. Then we're going to come back to this area where it says display the name publicly. And you're going to notice that we can actually have that as our display name, the one that we put there as a nickname. This email is going to be the one where all of our notifications about our site are going to come. This website is one that you can change, and wherever you want your username to be associated with a specific website, you can put it there. You can put whatever website there that you want to have there. Now in this area, you're going to be able to put some biographical information about yourself, and this is going to matter when you actually update what's called your gravatar, which we're going to show you here in a minute. And this information will appear every place that you log in with this username around the internet. Now you can actually generate a new password that's going to have several different kinds of elements in it that'll make it hard for you to have someone guess it. But in most cases, you're going to want to leave it to something that you can get into readily. Okay, so once you've updated all that information, you're going to want to click Update Profile. And then your profile will then be ready for you to use however you'd like to have it as you use your WordPress website. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to go over our settings menu. And one of the first things we're going to do is to go to the left side menu, and then we're going to click the settings link. That's going to reveal to us all of the areas in the settings that we can actually change, and we're going to go through this right now. Now the first area that you're going to click is going to be the general settings, and you're going to be able to make some changes here, but for the most part you're going to leave most of it the same. Now you can give your site a title, and in this case we've called this site test directory, and that really came from the installation. We could call this whatever we want. Now when your site appears on the search engine, you'll notice that this site title will eventually be the one that will show for your site. So you want to pick this general setting carefully and make sure it's something that you want to reflect in terms of your business. Now you'll also have the ability to write in a tagline. You'll be able to communicate what the site is about. So you want to, again, be mindful of what you want people to know about your site. Okay, so then your tagline is set up. Your WordPress address, in most cases, these two addresses will pretty much be the same. This is where you want customers to actually come when they come to your website and how you want it to be recognized. You'll have an email address, which is for your administration and for logging in and for your notifications. For membership, this will allow people to register on your site if you give them the address. Now, you will have to designate whether or not anyone can sign up to your site, and the only way that they'll be able to do that at will whenever they want to, regardless of whether or not you give them a link, is by you making that available by saying anyone can register. If you leave this unchecked, that means that no one can register without you giving them permission or without them getting the link. Now when someone actually does register, automatically or otherwise, then you will give them a default role. And you'll see several of them here. And I'm going to go through the drop-down menu, and you'll notice that you have subscribers, contributors, authors, editors, and administrators. Obviously, an administrator can make all the changes that you can make. A subscriber can make none of those changes, and all of these other roles can make changes in between. In terms of the time zone, you'll want to change the time zone to be the one that reflects yours. And you're going to have to do that according to the universal time code. So if you want to find out what the universal time code is for your city, all you'll need to do is to go to Google. I'm going to do that right now. If you type in to Google UTC code for your city, typically you'll get a search result that you'll be able to go to and make the conversion. In this particular case, if we were in New York City, we would be able to find out that our UTC is going to be -4. So all we'd have to do is go to -4 inside of WordPress. Once we do that, we can pick a format that we want to have for our dates. And this is going to appear in our post. We can either leave the default settings or we can change them. We can change the time as we want it to appear on our posts. And then we can determine when we want our weeks to start in terms of how WordPress calculates them. You can start either on Sunday or Monday. And once you've done those things, you can actually hit changes. And you will have customized your WordPress general settings. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the writing link. And when you go to that link, you're going to notice a couple of settings here. You can actually convert emoticons into graphics when they're on your display. And again, that is going to be optional. You don't have to do that. And these other settings are truly optional. You can set a default post category, and we'll talk a little bit more about categories in another video. But you can make it so that every post that you start with will automatically go to your favorite WordPress category. You can automatically set so that WordPress will automatically post in a specific format. And all of these formats are, once again, going to be optional. You can leave it as uncategorized and standard because you can always change your post category and your format when you're actually doing the post. And that is actually what we recommend that you do. One thing that WordPress will allow you to do is to post with an email. That would mean that you would send an email to an address that WordPress indicates, and then you would then have that appear in your WordPress blog as a post. This is an advanced concept, but one that you'll want to do by setting up your mail server, giving yourself a login name and password, and then setting a default category for your post to go through. Now, WordPress will allow you to set certain services so that these services will be automatically notified when you actually post to your site. And they will notify these services to give you more exposure, to give you more backlinks, and to give you more opportunities to have other people see your post. So once you've updated the categories that you want inside the writing settings, you can click Save Changes. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over the settings menu, and we're going to go first to the reading tab, which is the next tab down. And you're going to notice that in the reading settings, we can actually dictate how many blog posts are going to show on a particular page. So we can dictate and we can say we want to have less or fewer posts, or we can have more posts. And this is so you can actually start to see how your post is going to look. And the reality is that each theme that you put on your WordPress site is going to change the nature of it. And so you are going to come back to these settings over and over again whenever you add a new theme or whenever you add a new plugin. The same thing is going to be true for the syndication feeds. And typically you're going to want to keep this equal. So syndication feeds show the most recent 10 items. So when your WordPress site is feeding into an RSS feed, you want that RSS feed to show the last 10 items that you have posted. You might want to start showing less or more depending on how frequently you update your site. But again, this is going to change over time as you start to do more and more with your site. Now, inside of an RSS feed, you can actually dictate how much the reader is going to be able to see. If you want them to have a summary so that they have to come back to your site to read the rest, you can click Summary. If you want them to read the whole thing so that they might be interested in more of what you have to say, you'll click Full Text. And again, this is going to vary depending on what your business model is. Now, this button is going to be very important because you don't want to make your site visible to the search engines until it's ready to go live. And so you can discourage search engines from indexing the site so that people can find it by search, but you can also encourage them. So one of the things that you can do when you first start your site is to click this button. And then this will discourage search engines from actually showing your pages on Google and Bing and all the other search engines until you untick this button and make it ready. So once we've done that, we can click Save Changes. And we can go on to the Discussion tab. The Discussion tab is really for those things that occur on your site where you are interacting with other people who are coming to the site. Therefore, you'll see here that you have default article settings and comment settings. And you will be able to determine what you want to do based on how your interaction will be with your customers and with your site visitors. And again, all of these things are going to vary every time you do a new theme or you change something about your site or you change the way you're going to be doing business. All these things are going to be fairly straightforward, so we're not going to go through these in detail, but you will want to change them every time you make a major change with your site. Now lastly, we're going to go to the Media tab, and you're going to notice that we can control how WordPress displays the images or the media that we're going to be uploading to our site to be used in our posts and our pages. And these are going to be dictated by pixel size, whether you're talking about medium or large, and all of these are going to give us options when we're actually writing in our posts and in our pages. Now, one thing that WordPress will do is it'll organize all of your images in folders based on the month and date when you uploaded them. And this is going to make it easy for you to be able to go and find them if you need them or if you have to go back and get them for some reason. Most of the time, you're going to leave this checked and leave the default setting. Once we've done with those things, we can click Save Changes. And that's it for this video. We will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we want to go to the settings area and we want to go to the permalinks tab. Now the permalinks tab by default is going to start with a plain setting, but you can change this setting based on what you're trying to accomplish with your site. Now if you're trying to accomplish SEO, typically most SEO experts recommend that you will put in here both the category and post name and that you do a custom structure or a post name. So what you'll be trying to do is you will be dictating what your permalink structure is based on your business model. And this basically means that whenever you post, this is the structure of your post as it's going to appear in the address bar. Once again, this is going to be very important as you determine how you're going to be using WordPress. Now the last thing we want to point out to you is that you'll see here in the settings menu that there is an Akismet setting. Now this Akismet link is based on the fact that we have a plugin that we've installed, and this is where you'll be changing the settings. And anytime that you install a plugin here, you'll want to change the settings first by looking to the settings area. Most of the time the settings to a plugin will be available here. Other times they'll be available in posts or pages. But this section, you'll always have the general, writing, reading, discussion, media, permalinks, and then any other settings that you have for plugins or anything else that you have installed and attached to your WordPress installation. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to look at uploading media and images to our WordPress site. Now you'll notice we are inside of the WordPress dashboard, and in order to upload images, we are going to go to the media section. When we get to the media section, what you'll notice is that there are no media files currently there. That's because our WordPress site is new. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click the Add New button. And you'll notice that WordPress will allow us to select files or to drag and drop them in there. So if you have images that you are going to be using in your WordPress site, whether or not you are blogging or whether or not you are using it as a website, you want to put those images here. They should be digital images, and as you can see, the maximum upload of the file size is going to be 2 megabytes. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to find an image and we are going to upload it. So we're going to click the Select Files button, and then we're going to go to our hard drive. For purposes of this tutorial, we're going to go inside of the sample pictures, and you're going to notice several pictures here. Now we're going to use all of these in our website in our example, so we're going to click the one at the very left, and we're going to literally hit the Shift button, and we're going to select all the images. Now we're then going to click Open, and you're going to notice that WordPress is going to start to upload these images into the site. And once you begin to click on some of the images, we'll get the opportunity to put in a title, to put in a caption, and we can always come back and use these images over and over and over in our website. So for example, we could say that this is our favorite flower. We'll write a description. And then we'll move on to the next image. And you'll notice that these images are auto-saving, so we can move on to the next one. When we have completed what we're going to work with in terms of these images, we'll click the X button. And then our images will actually be in our WordPress installation for us to use anytime that we like. You'll notice that we can also upload document files. I've uploaded a PDF. We can also load documents such as PowerPoint and Word documents. But the main use of your media section will be to upload images that you are going to use in your pages as well as in your posts. Now, you don't have to upload all of these images before you actually start posting. You can actually wait until you start the post so that you can find the appropriate image from your hard drive when you actually are going to create some content. And we'll be talking about that in a later video. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are going to begin creating content with our WordPress site. Now, in order to do that, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to go to the posting area. Once you're in the posting area, you are then going to click the Add New button. And there are a couple of things that you'll want to know about creating posts. Posts are the most common way of creating content in a WordPress site. And you are going to want to have your post organized by some kind of category. Now, whenever you're in the posting area, WordPress will start out with an uncategorized area, but you can actually add a specific category to the post that you are writing. And all posts are going to be organized by category unless you decide to leave it uncategorized and to a general area. The other thing that you're going to be able to do with your post is you're going to be able to create tags. Now, tags are ways that search engines and other people can go to your site and find information that your post is going to be about. For example, you might have hundreds of posts on your site, but if you have tags on that post, then people will be able to go to your site, put the tag into the search area, and then find all of the posts that are going to be about that particular subject. And so posting is a very good way of using your WordPress site in order to distribute content. Now, in order to create a post, what you're going to do is you are going to use the WYSIWYG editor, and you can actually write in your post just as if you were writing into a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word document. I'm actually going to stop the recording right now, and I'm going to put some text in here. Now, you're going to notice that there's now text in the WYSIWYG editor. And so one of the things that we are going to want to do is we're going to want to edit it so that it appears the way we want it to appear. This will be one of the things that you're going to be able to do to make your content appear the way you want to. Now, the other thing that you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to add images to your post. And the way that you do that is that you are going to put the cursor where you actually want the image. You're going to click the Add Media button. And then you're going to either go into your media library or choose one from your hard drive. In this particular case, you can go to your media library because we already have some information there. We're going to select an image, and then we're going to insert it into our post. Now, one of the things that you'll want to do when you insert into a post is you're going to want to consider the size. And you're always going to have a couple of different options when you want to post your image. Now, a thumbnail size image is going to be very small. A medium size image is going to take up about half of your page. A large image is going to take up about 2/3 of your page, and a full size will take up the entire width of the page. So since we're just putting in an image that we want to take up part of the page, we're going to go ahead and just put a thumbnail image in, and we're going to click Insert into Post. Now, with the WYSIWYG editor, what you're going to notice is that it's actually going to show the way it's going to be when a visitor actually sees it. Once we have text like this, we can actually go in and edit the image. We can actually add it so that our image is going to be the way we want it. And so we can click Align Left, and our text will come alongside of our image. Now, one of the other things that we can do inside of our post is that we can hyperlink to other places. And of course, it works in the very same way as it would in any word processing software or any website. All we would do is copy the text or highlight the text, and then we click Insert Link. And the link that we're going to insert will be hyperlinked to this information. So we would put our URL in there. And then click Apply. And we would have our hyperlink, as you can see. Of course, one of the other things that we can do in our post, as we would with any text-based information, we can bold information, we can italicize, we can strike through. Okay, so once you actually have some of the information in there the way that you want, what you do is, as we said, we're going to pick a category. And we're going to add that new category. And then we're going to make this post about that category. We're going to write in some tags. And once we've done that, then we've only got one other thing that we want to do. And now one of the other things that WordPress will allow you to do is to set a featured image. And this image is going to show when you share your post on social media sites like Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. And so you will just go and get a featured image. You get the very same one that you had before. I'm going to click Set a Featured Image. And then when your post shows up, this image is going to show up representing that post. Now, once we actually have the information the way that we want, we would then click the Publish button. And once we do that, we'd go and visit our post. And we can see how the post is actually going to look. We can then write in here what we think the post is about. And then we're going to click Update. Okay, and once again, we have our updated information. Now, there are several items across the toolbar that you'll be able to use. One of the things that you can actually do is you can actually toggle this toolbar down, and you'll actually be able to see more options that you have available. For example, if you wanted to underline text, you could do it. If you wanted to change the color of the text, you could do that. If you wanted to change that text back, you can do that, or change to another color. And so all these options are going to be available to you. The other thing that you can actually do is to change the formatting of the text by using these options. You'll see them there, some of the larger headings. Or you can just leave it as paragraph, and this will retain the formatting that came with your theme. So once you've completed all the information, you want to update, and you want to always look and view the post so that you can see exactly what your post is going to look like when you are actually visiting from a website. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're just going to write our title back in here. We're going to click Update, and then we are ready to go with our post. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we are going to be discussing another way for you to create content for your site, and that is to use the paging system. And you'll come to the Pages area, and then you'll go to All Pages if you want to take a look at all your pages. Now in this particular case, we don't have any pages yet, but we're going to start the process by clicking the Add New button. And of course, just as we did when we created a post, we're going to write in our title. Then, of course, we're going to create content for our page. And of course, you're going to want to arrange your content the way you want it to appear. And a page system has the very same editing features that a post has. So if you need to create something in bold or italic or strike through, or you need to put a bulleted list, all the same things that you can do with the posting system, you can do with the paging system also. And of course, it also means then that you can insert media if you want to have it in your page. So once you've actually completed your content, you'll want to click Publish. And there are a couple of aspects of pages that you want to take note of. Now, if you recall, one of the things that we did was we arranged our posts, or we organized them by category. And pages are different. Pages are really organized by other pages, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Now, you are looking right now at the entire page menu, and you'll notice that there are two pages. And you'll notice that the one page is called Marketing Definitions, and the other page is the one that we just created. Now, when you organize your paging system, you are typically going to have a parent page, and then you're going to have what's called a child page, or pages that fit within the parameters of the actual page category. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Marketing Definitions the parent category, and then we're going to make affiliate marketing and regular marketing one of the subcategories or subpages of Marketing Definitions. And in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of the Marketing Definitions page, and we're going to make sure that it is the parent page. We're just going to update that page, and now we're going to go back to our paging system. And we're actually going to edit the affiliate marketing page. And so we'll hover over that page. We'll click the Edit button. And when we do that, we are going to name a parent for this page. So we want to name the category that stands over affiliate marketing and regular marketing, and we're going to make that the Marketing Definitions page. And we're going to click Update. Now, if we had more than one page within that category of Marketing Definitions, we could make this one to be the first in all. So we can actually order those pages underneath the parent page. Now, one of the other things that's important to note is that we can also set a featured image here in this corner. Now, we've already done that in the post video, so we won't do that here. But we can set a featured image for a page, and when we share that page around social media, and that image will appear as representative of our actual page. Now, one of the other things that's going to be important to note about the page system, we'll need to actually go into the settings area in order to show you what that means. If we go into the settings area, you are going to notice that there is a link here called Reading. And the reading page will allow you to set the parameters for the very first page that your visitors see, or the home page. And one of the ways that you can actually do that is you can actually click this button, and we can make one of our pages our front page. And we do that by going to this page. And then if we decide we want to make the affiliate marketing, and if we decide we want to make affiliate marketing and regular marketing the page that people see when they first get to the site, we can do that, right? And then all we'll have to do then is click Save Changes. Once we've done that, we can actually go to visit our site, and we will see the affiliate marketing and regular marketing page. And all we need to do is to go to the top, click Visit Site, and it is the first page people are going to see when they come to our URL. And when we come back, we're going to notice that this page is a child page of the Marketing Definitions, and it's also our front page, and WordPress will tell us that in this area. Now, one of the other ways that we can organize pages, you'll see here on the front page, and you'll actually see a menu. You'll notice that when I hover over the Marketing Definitions link, you'll see our affiliate marketing and regular marketing page. So this is yet another way of being able to organize your content, and we can also do that inside of WordPress. And we can do that by going to the Appearance area, and then going to the Menus area. And what you'll notice is that the menu structure is already set. You'll notice that the Marketing Definitions is there on the top, And affiliate and regular marketing is there as a page. So what you can do is you can drag and drop and put these things in the order in which you want them to appear and have in your WordPress site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. You are now looking at the outside of our WordPress site, and you'll notice that the site has a particular look. And you may be wondering, how can I change the appearance of the site? How can I change either the header or maybe even the footer, or how can I change the overall look of the site? And in order to do that, you'll need to go inside of your dashboard. And probably the easiest way for you to make changes to the look of your site in the fastest way possible is to go and change the actual theme. And if you hover over the appearance menu, you'll be able to go to the themes area. And you'll notice something. You'll notice that WordPress will give you installed themes. It'll show you the themes that are already installed. But now, what if you want to find another theme that's entirely new that will give your site a different look? Well, in order to do that, you'd go and click the Add New button. And WordPress will bring you to a menu of free themes that you can actually use in order to change the look and the appearance of your site. You want to scroll through some of these themes. They will appear there. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that there's a menu across the top, and it says that you can actually do this by featured theme. You can also do it by the most popular themes. You can actually sort by the latest themes that are available to you on your WordPress site. You can sort by the number of favorite sites, and typically you can find these on WordPress.org. Or you can actually look for a site based on certain filters. And we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And in this particular case, if you're looking for a site with a particular color, you can actually say that when you're actually filtering. And then once you've actually filtered, you can actually then do the search. And in order to do that, all we need to do is click Apply Filter. And then we'll find a theme that has the color blue in it. We can pick one. And in order to preview the theme, in order to see how it might look on our site, we can actually click the Preview button. And we'll get some idea of how the theme will actually look once we install it. Now, in order to X out of this and go back to the theme area, what we're going to do is we're just going to click the X there, and that's going to take us back to our grouping of themes. And so what you'll want to do is to find a theme that you think really does fit what your site is going to be about, and then you can click Install. Now, once you've clicked Install, what you can do is you can actually do a preview of that installation from the live preview link. And we're actually looking at it as it's going to appear on our site and when we start to make customizations. Now, if we like the look and we want to start customizing from that point, we can actually click Save and Activate. And you'll notice now that this is the outside of our WordPress site. So in order to go back to the inside, what we'll do is to go to the dashboard area. And we'll need to go back to the appearance area and go to themes. And you'll notice our theme is right there and it's active. The one that we were using before is not active. In order to make customizations to that theme, all we need to do is click the Customize button. And what you'll see there is you'll see a customizing menu come up where we can change the site identity, the colors, the header, and anything that we want to do in order to customize the site. Now, in order to go back, we just X out of there. And we are now back in the themes area. And so changing the look of your site is that simple. It's finding a theme that's appropriate. It has the look and feel that you want. And once you do that, then you can start customizing. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, while themes change the look of our site, in order to change what our site does or to change the functionality, we need to use what WordPress calls plugins. And if you go to the left-hand side menu and you go to the plugins area and click the link, it will take you to all of the plugins that are already installed. And one of the things that you'll notice is something that was discussed at the very beginning of the course, and it is the Akismet plugin. And you'll notice that the Akismet plugin, what it does is it blocks spam. So one of the things that your WordPress site does is it blocks spam. If you want your WordPress site to do more, what you'll have to do is to add plugins to it in order to change the functionality. So in order to get started looking for plugins, what you're going to do is click the Add New button. And what you're going to notice right away is that WordPress is going to give you some featured plugins, just as we saw before with the themes. WordPress will tell you about very popular plugins, just as it did with the themes. It will also tell you about recommended plugins. Now, one of the best ways in order to find good plugins is to start by searching inside of the WordPress dashboard. So, for example, if you wanted to add Google Analytics, which is a way to keep track of your site's statistics and traffic, you would go to the Search Plugins area and type in Google Analytics. Once you typed it in, click Enter, and your dashboard will begin to show you plugins that will be options for you to install on your WordPress site. Now, one of the things that you can do in order to narrow down your choices is to start looking at the actual reviews. And you'll notice that this one has 600,000 installs and 38 people reviewed it. This one has 29 reviews and had 20,000 people view it. So you're getting the idea. You can find a plugin by going through these plugins and figuring out which one has the best reviews and which one you are the most comfortable with. So let's take a look at this one and decide to install it. It has good reviews and it has a fairly high number of installations. So we can then click Install Now. You'll see WordPress going through the installation process, and we can then click Activate Plugin. WordPress will take a few minutes to get it installed, and then you'll notice now that the Google Analytics Counter Tracker is now added to our plugins area. So you might ask, what can you do now? So how do you customize this plugin? Well, whenever you install a new plugin, the first thing you'll do is you'll go to the settings area and you are going to look for a link, something that is close to what you just installed, and you'll see here it says Analytics Counter. And this will give you all of the details that you'll need in order to customize your plugin. Now, in some cases, you'll find that menu in the tools or other times within posts and pages. But typically, you'll find the details of a plugin inside of the settings area. Now, there are all kinds of plugins to change the functionality. And if we go back to the installed plugins, we can take a look there. And once again, once we're here, we're going to click Add New. And just by taking a look at some of the featured plugins, we can see what other people are doing with their site and other things that people are taking advantage of. For example, some people are using a forum. Other people are causing their site to run faster. If we look at some of the popular themes, some people are doing things like adding custom fields. Some people are doing search engine optimization. Some people are displaying their galleries. And so these are going to be ideas that you can use in order to determine what you can do to make your WordPress site everything that you want it to be. Now, your WordPress site can be more than a blog. It can be a business site, but it will require some customization, such as the kind of customization that you're looking at, in the plugin section. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in this video, we are going to customize our WordPress site by using menus, which we talked about a little bit in our video about pages, but we want to go to the menu section. And when we get there, what we'll notice right away is that we don't have many menus available to us. And so we may want to create a menu that reflects what we want our site to be. So we can name our menu and we can create a menu that is, we can call it business related or whatever we want to call it. Our customer is not going to see that. And when we do that, what's going to happen is WordPress is going to give you some options based on the theme. And then you can determine where you want this menu that you're creating is going to be. Now, in this theme, they're giving you the ability to create a top menu, a footer menu, and a primary menu. So in this particular case, we are going to create a top menu. And then we're going to save it. So what we'll need to do now is we will go then to our business related menu. And it's going to appear at the top. So now what we'll need to do is we'll need to edit that menu. And what we can do is we can add both posts and pages to the menu. So we can go to the posting area and we can add the menu. And then there is our post. We can also add pages to that menu. So now both of these things will now appear inside of our business related menu, and it's going to appear on the top. So now what we'll do is we'll save that menu, and then we are then going to look at our site to make sure that it is what we want it to appear as. We'll click visit our site, and what you're going to see is here's our top menu. Now we can decide to put things in this menu on this row or even in the footer area. So much depends on how we want to customize our site. But a menu is a great way of giving your site visitors options to find different things on your site. And depending on what you are trying to accomplish with your site, this can be a great way for you to even change the appearance of it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, some of our site visitors are going to come to our site and they're going to want to comment on what it is that we have to say in our article. So what they will do is they will find our comment area and then they will put a comment in there. And so in this particular case, we're going to write a comment in. Now in this particular case, the person writing in their comment, they're going to have to leave their name. So we're going to go ahead and go through the same process as if we are them. When you come to the inside of your dashboard, you'll notice that there is a notification under comments. You'll want to check your comments. And if this is something that you like to have on your site, then you'll want to go ahead and approve it. And then you'll want to reply to it. It's always best to reply to comments because that is an indication to your site visitor that you are actually listening to them and they're more inclined to come back and read what you have to say. So we will go ahead and reply. You'll click reply, and then you'll have a conversation started with the person who's actually coming to your site and reading your material. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now you may be building your WordPress site and you'll look through the themes as we talked about in the theme video, and you may not be satisfied with what you find. You also might be looking at the plugins and you might be thinking about some things that you'd like to see on your site, but everything that you see isn't quite what you want it to be. One of the ways to work through that situation is to begin to look for paid upgrades. And you can typically find them by writing in WP plugin if you're looking to change the functionality, and then put the functionality in that you like. For example, we've placed here appointment scheduling, and we have here a WordPress appointment booking scheduling plugin. and we'll probably find other plugins that will help us with this process. We can do the very same thing for a theme, and if we type in WP and theme and then type in the kind of theme that we're looking for, we can typically find the right theme if we're willing to pay, and we can often do that. And you'll see here I've written in the word lawyer and WP theme, and there are lots of sites that will lead me to find a good site for a lawyer. And so you can always work around any functionality that's limited or any theme that's limited by being willing to pay for the plugin or being willing to pay for the theme. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.